I'm in a dark room. I'm not gonna be in a dark room for much longer, but I am in a dark. Well, it's my normal room actually. So it's where I've been streaming before. I just have the NVIDIA broadcast app do its magic to remove the background because there is a what you call it, like it allows me to have more of the screen filled up by the thing that I want to show, and that is right now it's like pretty important. I don't want to use it as an excuse to not think about the layout of my studio and the background and all that. So this is not a permanent solution, but this is a solution that I want to uh like I want to follow through with this because the call it the thing that I'm trying to do, the goal, right? That's like the important thing, and everything else is kind of a it's a non-issue, or it's just less important. So for me to prioritize the things that are more important over the things that are less important, I think that's an act of dishonesty. And dishonesty is fine. Dishonesty is cool and epic. I think there's like a lot of, not only are there good reasons to use dishonesty, but also dishonesty is like it is just like you have to be dishonest. Like not only do you have to, it's what I'm trying to say. It's like biologically impossible to not be dishonest. Like you have to, you are required by law, by God, by the law of honesty, that you have to be dishonest for at least some of the time. Otherwise, you will not do well. It leaves you too vulnerable. Being honest, it leaves you too vulnerable to other people and the ways that people can like impact you. You need a certain degree of dishonesty. That being said, like it is good to try to be honest when possible. I think we are happier with ourselves when we try to be more honest with ourselves. And that's the reason to practice honesty or study honesty more. It is to just to enjoy your life more and live the life that you want to live, not the life that you think that you want to live. Anyway, I did not mean to get into that. But today, okay, I need to figure out this background. I need to get rid of this darkness. This darkness needs to go away. Shoot, bye. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to accomplish this? I have created a background. I'm going to put up this background right now. There's a couple layers to this background. First, I'm going to put up the sort of background layer of this. So we're gonna export this as a PNG. We are going to save this in a folder that I can find. Call this Twitch. I hope that I can find this folder again in the future. All right, I have a background. Now I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to call this background in OBS. Now I'm going to open my file explorer and drag my background into here. Now what you should see is a background. Okay, now you might be seeing the whole thing. That's not good. So let's put this back here. Okay. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. And look, it's a little it's got little dog. It's got dogs. It's a couple of little dogs on it. So unload image when not showing. Wait, what's encoding overloaded? Why is my okay, whatever. It's fine. I'm gonna leave this over here. Look at that. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Now, so that's step one. Step two, we want to add the foreground layer on top of this. And that is its own separate thing. So we're gonna remove that. Now I gotta save this. Oh, I should also mention I can't see Twitch chat right now. So if anybody's like if anybody has said something, which I don't think anybody has, because I haven't even announced the stream or anything. So I don't think people should be here. But if there is anybody who is saying anything, I have not seen the chat. Okay. I now opened the chat. So now I should be able to see when people have anything to say. Okay. So number two, what we're gonna do. Oh, okay, we already did that. Now we're just gonna go to OBS again. We are going to import another image. We're gonna call this image foreground. And then we're gonna browse. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Ah, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's so cute. That's so cute. Look at it. It's me. It's me. Look at it. Look. It's me. Look at him. Oh, and now I'm moving things around. Oh my god. I think this is so cute. I think this is so cute. I'm really happy with this drawing. I'm really happy with with how I got it to look. I mean, I think there's some things I kind of rushed on this, but overall, I think he's cute. I think he's cute, and I think he's gonna do our job today. Look at him. He's so cute. He's so cute. Okay. So, uh, reason for him. What's he doing here? His role, which is my role because he's me. His role is to block most of the screen of the copyrighted content that I'm going to be reading through because I want to have some of that visible because I think that helps with the readability of something like this where it's just me studying, which is like one of the most boring types of streams I think anybody could do. It's just like not a good stream idea, probably. Oh, I'm just gonna check Twitch just to make sure that I'm live and I can hear myself. That I am live and I can hear myself. Okay, I think I can hear myself. I'm gonna okay. I think I can hear myself. I can definitely hear myself. Okay, I think I can hear myself. I can definitely hear myself. Okay, now we're echoing. That's not good. Okay. I noticed that I touch my face a lot. I'm gonna try to do that a little bit less. I'm also gonna open my Twitch chat overlay app that I downloaded. Oh, I thought I downloaded it. I thought I downloaded like a Twitch chat overlay application so I can see it without having to have Twitch open. I thought I had it. Let's find out. Maybe I hallucinated it. We'll see. Oh, you know, it might be one of those apps that like don't actually install on your computer. Transparent Twitch chat overlay. I believe this is it. So how do I? Oh, never mind. It is. I'm gonna pin this to my taskbar. It is installed on my computer. Now I can see. Look at that. Okay, perfect. So now I can see if anybody says anything. We're gonna find out. Okay, so next two steps are I need to open our glass, my timer. Oh, it already has set up right here. That's perfect. Okay. So that's my timer app. Um, there you go. Look at that. Beautiful. So, the idea of this app is that it will let me set a timer. I know, crazy. We are going to end the stream at 4:15 my time. So that's going to be what's 4:15 my time? That's an hour, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay. I'm just going to start that. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're doing great. We're doing great. Last thing, or two more things. One, I need to open up my Word document. Oh, and that already has that right in front of me. That is perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So, how we're going to do this is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to set this up like this. Oh, it's tricky because I'll want to be zooming in and out of my screen. I think we're gonna just try to keep my screen at a fixed width and try not to zoom in and out on my end. So then we can have that, and then we can just have that be cropped like that. Yeah. So these are going to be my notes. Maybe I should make that more obvious in the like actual background. In fact, I will. I'm gonna make that a little bit more obvious because I can, and I've got time. This should be pretty easy. Notes. I'm just gonna create a label called there we go. All right, we're gonna just export this as a PNG, export it right into this image, and hopefully OBS will automatically update. Yes, I did. Look at that. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, notes is a little off-centered. That's annoying. Okay, let's just fix that real quick. Did I do it? Did I do good? Did I fuck it up? There we go. Okay. How do I select? There we go. Move that over there. And then move this down so I can see. And either I set this to the right or to my left, but it doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're going to go look up, I'm going to read.amazon.com/Kindle library. And then we're going to open up a page. And then we're going to, I don't really know if I want to let's just make this. There you go. Let's make this sepia. I think it'll be easiest for me to have this on the right of my screen. And then what are we going to do here? Here on OBS, we're going to open up, I guess it'll be window capture. Let's call this edge. No. I'm going to call this. Okay, yeah, edge. Wow. Oh, we're sorry. As we're showing now, we're showing the thing that I said that we can't show. That it's perfect. Okay. That's fine. How do I zoom in on? Oh wait, I gotta rearrange some stuff on my desk. Put this down. It's my keyboard down here, so I can actually type. And then how do I move this like this? Okay, it does that. I mean, yeah, I think that'll work. I think. Okay. I don't know why I feel so nervous about this though. Okay, I don't know why that's showing through, but that doesn't matter. Um, okay. All right. Hopefully that hopefully the dog is like big enough to block most of that. Should I make it bigger? I might have to. Sorry. Okay. I just gotta I can't let any loose threads. I gotta make sure that this is okay. Let's see here. Can't really flip him. All right, I'll just make him a little bit bigger. Yeah. Make him a little bit bigger. And let's just save that. All right. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's start. Credibility and fiction. Okay, so I already did credibility and nonfiction, and fiction, nonfiction. We did this chapter. So now we got to do characterization in fiction and nonfiction. Also, let's have some music on. Oh, I just realized that needs to be over here now. Okay. Let's put Twitch safe lo-fi again. There are so many different things that you want to think about and consider when you're really starting a project. That's really, something you got to be careful not to overthink too much in. I'm gonna need some more coffee. And then something about my camera I also want to adjust a little bit. Give me 1 second. That better? Okay, I think that's better. Yeah. Okay. So, motivation is not a naturally occurring resource. It doesn't just happen by itself. It usually is a result of something else. So it is a byproduct or maybe even a waste product of something, some kind of process in the brain or the interaction between the brain and the body that produces motivation. Why? Okay, I gotta move myself down. So, ergo, as I am not feeling very motivated right now. Okay, forget the ergo. I'm just gonna talk about myself for a little bit. Because I'm not feeling very motivated right now. Like I'm just not really feeling the mood to study, stream. Because I'm not really feeling it, it is easy to just say, actually, I'm not going to go stream today. I'm not going to do something else. I'm not going to do this thing today. And it's easy for me to feel bad about myself. Oh no, I'm doing something wrong. Or I'm, why am I not having fun with this? What's wrong with me? Oh. So, motivation and inspiration. Actually, I think those are two different things, but anyway. Like they don't happen in a vacuum. They don't happen by themselves. And they especially don't happen as a result of starting something right away. They happen as a result of doing something, of continuing something. The process of creating is what creates motivation. The struggle and the discomfort and then the reward that you get out of doing something and completing something, that is motivation. It doesn't really come from, waking up, being born to be a streamer and then streaming. It's just something that is going to happen. It is going to happen by streaming, and not just by streaming, but by streaming and embracing the discomfort that you get out of that streaming. If I try to shy away too much from the discomfort, I might just not speak. I might just speak still and silent and say, because I don't have a lot of confidence. However, that is also kind of a superpower. Like if I let myself be uncomfortable and then I stream, then my discomfort sort of allows me to it starts to act as a ping or as a sonar. That's how I see it, because when I am in the state of discomfort, it arouses me, not in a, not sexually. It arouses me like it activates me, and I think I think it activates everyone. Like when you're uncomfortable, right? You might feel more jittery, or you might feel more, jumpy, or you might react in ways that you don't normally react. So that I think that's a superpower. So I'm going to continue streaming exactly because I don't really feel like it right now. I'm going to do it in good faith. I'm not going to just like half-ass stream. I'm going to try to give in the full-ass stream. And that full-ass stream is going to entice me. The process of doing that stream will entice me to continue streaming. That is a faith that I have. As long as I don't stop moving, and I don't stop talking, and I don't stop jumping into discomfort, I will find the energy, the pull, the motivation, the desire, the confidence to push through and continue and be the type of creator that I want to create, or discover the type of creator that I want to create. So, that being said, I am going to, once again, post in my Blue Sky. Streaming more writing, studying. What do I say in my Blue Sky? I'm gonna say, what did I say last time? Streaming again. Going to, oh, you can see my screen. Oh no. Oh, I forget that you are going to be able to see that. So I need to train myself to, can I do this? Can I like, no, I can't. I have to keep it on this window. So every other window I'm just gonna close. Okay, there you go. So that's fine. Here, you're just gonna move this. Up like this. Yeah, okay. So, let's do that one more time. And this time, let's go on my Blue Sky. And let's say, streaming again. Today I'm continuing my studies in soon I'll streaming schedule. Okay. All right. I posted it. We'll see what happens. I don't think they're going to be many people, if anyone who joins, but that's okay. That is, I think, is it embarrassing? No, it's not embarrassing if nobody joins. What it is though is it does reveal something in me. It reveals a desire that I actually do want an audience, and that I conflate with embarrassment, or I conflate with other feelings. But really, it's because I actually do want to have an audience, right? Like, that is something that I actually do want to have. So when I don't get an audience, it can feel, or might start to feel, I don't really feel these feelings yet, but I'm just expecting this to happen, is that it might start to feel like I am failing in some way, or that I'm not worthy in some way, etc., etc. And that will start to affect my confidence. So in order to prevent that, I actually don't really know. I don't really know yet what the best way or the methodology to sort of avoid falling into that pitfall. But there is the other, so that's like, let's say that's like one of my honesties, is that I want an audience. Well, another one of my honesties is that I like streaming for the sake of streaming. That honesty is more important than my desire to have an audience. So I think that sometimes you have to sort of adopt the opposite mindset of a desire that you have in order to understand where that desire is coming from. So I'm not going to get into this right now, but like, I thought that I have is that there are, I guess I get into it a little bit, that there's something called honesty, and then there's something called dishonesty, and then there's something called anti-honesty, and there's something called anti-dishonesty. That's a vocabulary that I'm building right now. And those four things are all very different from each other. Well, kind of. Honesty and anti-honesty are a lot more similar. And then dishonesty and anti-dishonesty are also pretty similar. And then there's some parallel between honesty and anti-dishonesty. And then there's parallel between anti-honesty and dishonesty, but they're not the same thing. They can sometimes be mistaken for each other, but they act as two very different things. So, like my theory, my hypothesis is that when you have an honesty, and an honesty being a statement that you feel is true, let's call it that. Sometimes those statements are, there's a lot of dishonesty in those statements, and what I mean by that is that you say this thing, but really it's because there's something else. Like, you believe this one thing because you don't want to admit of this other thing that you might not even realize that you don't want to admit. Like, there's an undiscovered truth. So if you have an honesty but you have undiscovered truth, you might not. Oh, where's my hourglass? Wait, hold on. Sorry. Where's my timer? Where'd my timer go? Hello? Did my timer just go away? What? Where'd my timer go? Well, okay. I guess we're gonna do 2 hours and 15 minutes. No. 15. Bruh. Okay. I don't know why my timer just like. Wait, no, it's the wrong one. It's because my timer's minimized. That's why. There you go. Okay. There it is. It never went away. That's good to know. It doesn't matter. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't remember anymore. Okay. Right. Okay. Honesty, anti-honesty. I think that when you have an honesty like that, a way to verify whether it's honest or not is to adopt the anti-honesty of it, which is like the opposite. Let's say an honesty that you feel is that I don't want to stream because I'm not very confident. Let's say that's like that's something that you feel. Okay. So we're gonna call that honesty and honesty. Honesty is a noun. We're not gonna say this is honest. This is just an honesty. So you can that's why you can have like dishonest honesties, and then you can have like whatever. This is honest, an honesty. Yeah, this is a noun, honesty. I don't want to stream because I don't have confidence. Okay. Let's call this an honesty. So the anti-honesty of that would be, I want to stream because I have confidence. Okay, that's anti-honesty of that. And then, and a way to sort of verify whether an honesty that you feel really is honest is when you adopt the anti-honesty. How does that make you feel when you say the anti-honesty out loud? Okay. You say it out loud and you embrace it and you really try to believe in it. Like what? How difficult is it to say? What are the emotions that go through your head when you say it? And if the anti-honesty feels like a comfort, then your original honesty probably isn't very honest. That's kind of my thought. So my anti-honesty here is, I want to stream because I am confident in myself. I want to stream because I am confident in myself. I don't have to believe it. It doesn't feel true, but it does feel better to say. So that means that there is honesty within that. So I'm going to try to remember that. I want to stream because I am confident in myself. I want to stream because I'm confident in myself. And I'm going to repeat this over and over again until I'm ready to continue. I'm going to stream because I am confident in myself. Okay, and my next honesty is, I don't want to do this writing assignment because I'm tired. So the anti-honesty is, I want to do this writing assignment. And then here's, okay. So would it be because I am alert? No, that's not it. So let's rephrase the original honesty. The original honesty is I don't want to do the thing because I am tired. So let's change that to a negative. I don't want to do this thing because I don't feel energized. So then that's anti-honesty of that. I want to do the assignment because I feel energized. Do I feel energized? Parts of me feel energized. Not all of it, but parts of me do. Parts of me are feeling energized right now. And to say that I feel energized wouldn't be honest, but there are parts of me that do feel some amount of energy right now. And maybe it's not my cognitive part, but like, I do feel, I'm alive. Okay. That's like, I'm alive. I am alive. I have thoughts. I'm awake. I'm moving my hands. I'm doing things that I wouldn't be able to do if I was utterly exhausted. So there are parts of me that are energized. That's why I want to do this writing assignment, because there are parts of me that are energized. I want to do this writing assignment because I am energized. And that is true. There are parts of me that are energized and I want to do this. And that's why, because I'm awake, I'm here, I've woken up, so I'm going to do this writing assignment. That is my path forward, is to adopt it, but not dishonestly. Remember, this isn't dishonesty. This is anti-honesty, which is honesty. It is a type of honesty. This feels honest to say this as well as the other one, but this feels right, and this is what will propel me forward. because I genuinely believe there is truth in my anti-honesty. So that truth feels better to me, feels more honest to me than the other truth. So I'm going to follow that truth. I'm going to remind myself that I went to this writing summit because there are parts of me that are energized because I am awake and I'm alive and I'm a being, a little being, a canine being, a human being, both of those things sometimes. Okay, I'm actually going to lower the volume of the audio. It might be too much. Anyway, so okay, now that I've created my anti-honesty statements, I feel ready to continue. Well, say to myself one more time. I want to do this writing assignment. I want to do this writing stream because there is energy inside of me. Because there are parts of me that are energized. Because I am energized. I might not feel energized, but I am energized, and I'm awake. That's why I want to do this writing assignment. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is, I don't know. I think it's a good way to get over some humps that I think can block how it can discourage you or block you from pursuing the things that you want to do, because there are thoughts about you that feel like hold you back, or you can't do this thing because, I can't do the stream today because I'm too tired, right? Like that thought, there's truth in that thought, but it is not an entirely honest thought. And I think that the anti-honesty of that sort of confirms that. So now I'm sort of like talking in circles. That's okay. Hi, 13012. Hello. Hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. I just spent the last 30 minutes talking about how I am tricking my brain to motivate myself to do this today. So, there is, that's I guess what part of this stream is about. Is it's just me sort of talking about my own feelings and my own thoughts and my own philosophies. And then there's like the actual thing that I came here to do, which is this stupid writing assignment. We're just gonna start. We're not gonna think about it too much. We're not gonna think about how studying is hard, because it is hard. Right? Studying is tricky because it's cognitively draining. And if you are a person that exists in this world, you might be very reluctant to do something like this, because we don't want to waste our precious caloric calories on things that don't have an immediate benefit. There is no immediate benefit to let's say you want to study how to be a writer. There's no immediate benefit to doing that in the moment. That benefit only comes after months or years of doing this. And if you concentrate on that thought, that sort of like the tiredness that you get from that, it's a very normal thing to feel tired from having that expectation or having that desire to want to do this grand thing, and then you do on a day-to-day basis, and then at first you might be very motivated about it, and eventually you stop feeling motivated. Like you do this brand new thing, I'm going to become a writer, and then you do it for like a couple days, and then you realize, oh no, this is like really hard, and this is going to take a lot out of me, and I don't want to do this thing anymore, and then get demotivated. Happens, I think, to everybody. And that happens every single time I learn something new. Every single time I learn new discipline, that pattern always happens. And it makes sense, because we are animals, and animals try to be as efficient as possible because nature is scary. Nature is a very scary thing, and you might die at any moment. And it doesn't make any sense to waste any calories that you don't have to waste. And thinking is a caloric expense. Thinking is something that does cost calories. And our brains, especially our human brains, are really calorically intensive. Like I think our brain uses like what? Is it like 800 calories a day or something? Actually, it might not be. It might be. I'm totally making the number up. I'm gonna confirm right now. How many calories does brain use per day? 300, 500. So that's okay. So not 800, but that's like a significant amount. That's 500 calories. What you don't know what's 500 calories. 500 calories is that's lifting for an hour. That's lifting for an hour. That is running for an hour and a half. That's rowing for an hour. That's a significant thing. And if you don't properly schedule either your life or if you don't prepare for something like that, like if you don't prepare for let's say you're going to lift. Okay, let's say you are now a lifter and you're going to lift and you lift for an hour, like 3 hours a week. So like 1 hour on Monday, 1 hour on Wednesday, 1 hour on Friday. And if you do that, I mean, you should plan for that. You have to plan for that. You have to sleep well. You have to eat better. You have to learn how to, you have to learn how to follow a routine. You have to learn how to do the lifts. But then you also need rest. You also need recovery. Like you need to plan for it. Like you need to make lifestyle changes to accommodate for that. But those lifestyle changes aren't terribly difficult, right? It's not terribly difficult to plan your life around something like this. But it is difficult enough that it's like a major roadblock. And if you try to lift and you don't do these things, like you will not get very far. Because these things are what sets you up for success in lifting. Like planning your life around counting your calories, or also developing like a better mental relationship with exercise, like just the therapy right behind it, also like developing the desire to exercise more, like all these things. Like there's a lot that goes into like making a lifestyle change, like I'm going to lift more. And it just, like that stuff kind of makes sense. Like it makes sense that you need to coordinate your life around this. And it makes sense that after you lift, the day after you lift, you're going to feel tired as fuck. You're going to feel sore. You're not going to feel great. And which is why you take a rest day, which is why on Tuesday you don't lift. And we see this as a thing, like this makes sense, right? Tuesdays we don't lift. Mondays we lift. Tuesday we don't lift. Wednesday we lift. So like we see this structure and we're like, yes, this makes sense. But when it comes to art, for some reason I don't think we often see art in the same way, and we don't see it like stuff like writing and music in the same way. Where like these things are very intensive things for the brain. Like we are reprogramming our brains in real time to do this thing, to learn this new skill, to think about the world in a different way. It's going to create a lot of cognitive challenges. It's going to, require more sleep. It's also going to just be like something that like obviously needs, or it should sort of obviously feel like it needs a little bit more planning than just starting writing. Like it's like you can start lifting. You can start lifting at any point, but like we don't. we should still set ourselves up for success and something like that. Like we should be careful, and we should really consider this, that this is a really straining exercise. And then here's why I think this is like important. It's because then once you start actually well, let's say if you don't follow that, like if you don't treat writing with like or like a new thing and treat it as something that like requires some sort of like baseline thing to set up for success in the long run, if you don't see it like that, then like I don't think we should then feel bad that we didn't do the thing. Like imagine if I started going to the gym haphazardly. Let's actually use a different example. Let's say that I okay, I'm gonna keep using the gym example just because I'm thinking about the gym, because that's something else that I have to do today that I don't want to do. So like okay, let's say I'm going to the gym, and my goal in the gym is to like lose weight and gain some muscle. Let's say those are my goals. But then let's say that I don't follow a routine, I don't follow like a structure, and I just sort of do my own thing, and I don't watch what I eat and all that. And then I don't get what I'm like, let's say like I don't lose weight, I don't gain muscle, like I don't accomplish the thing that I'm trying to, that I thought I wanted to accomplish. And then here's sort of like, I don't know, I think this is like the magic part of that, is that like at that point you didn't do the thing right? Like you didn't do the thing that you set, like you didn't do it properly. Okay, and this is where the magic comes in. So you didn't do the thing properly, you didn't like follow the regime properly, you didn't follow the structure properly, and so why beat yourself up? It doesn't make any sense to beat yourself up. It doesn't make any sense to then like feel bad that feel bad about your weight then, if you didn't do the thing to actually like that is needed. And I think I see this a lot in artists and writers who they especially artists who they want to get good at art, but they don't follow like a structure that actually helps them to get better at art. And I think that should be like that should be liberating, right? Because then you like you didn't do it properly, so then there's no reason to feel bad about it. Like there just is no good reason to feel bad about not accomplishing something if you didn't do it right, if you didn't do it properly, if you didn't like follow the instructions properly. So I think that is like I think that's like a really liberating, wonderful freedom, because then you don't have to feel, I don't think you don't have to feel bad. Like you did the program wrong, or the structure wrong, or the like the agenda wrong, and then the result is going to reflect that. So don't like, and that's expected. That's expected. Like adding 1 + 2 = 3 is expected. Like this is just like it's math. And I think that should be empowering. I think that should be, something that's like worth really taking yourself in and thinking about, because we feel bad about ourselves all the time for reasons that I don't think are good reasons to feel bad about ourselves. Like we feel bad that we're not good at this thing. And it's just like, well, you didn't do it, but you didn't do it right. So like, what did you expect? And I think the thing that then people say is that, well, they don't want to, because like some people don't want to follow some people don't want to do it correctly. Like some people don't want to follow the program or the structure. And then my sort of, I don't know if this is my solution for that, but like what I propose is that, well, then you should find how to change yourself so that you do want that, so that you do want that program, so that you do want that structure. Because when we do things that we want to do, those things become a lot easier. Don't force yourself to do this thing that you don't want to do. You can instead vie to really understand where your feelings are coming from, so that you actually know what it is that you want to do. Because if you don't want to follow like this very rigid academic way of doing something, if you don't want to do that, then why do you want to get good at that thing? And that's not an attack. That's just like a something you need to think about. It's like, why do you want this thing? Like why do you want to be at MIT if you don't like studying? Why do you want to be at why do you want to be a doctor if you don't want to go to med school? Why do you want to be an artist if you don't want to study it? And I think there's just not really any like good or bad, like that's searching for that and discovering that and understanding where your thoughts are coming from. That's like the most beautiful, empowering, important, divine thing you can do for yourself. And I think we become happier with our failures and our successes once we really understand where it is our feelings are coming from and what it is that really matters to us, and understanding why those things matters to us, and why, and what are the things, the reasons that we're holding ourselves back from getting what we want. And then learning also how to make peace with not being able to get what you want, or understanding that you might not want to make the trade-offs that you feel bad about yourself for not doing, when you don't want to make those trade-offs to begin with. It's a very it's okay. There are just what am I even trying to say anymore? I'm procrastinating is what I'm doing. I don't know if you've noticed, is that I've been procrastinating on this thing because I don't really want to do this today because I'm tired, damn it. I don't want to study, but that's what I came here to do. I have 2 hours to do this. If I don't finish this today, I will have to, I don't know, just die, I guess. I don't know. Like I have to do this thing, and it will be fun. It will be fun. Once I get into this thing, I know I will have a good time doing it. I think the reason why I don't want to, like the reason why I don't want to get into this is probably because there's something that I'm scared about, clearly. Like there's something that I'm really scared about happening if I like do this. I think I was talking to an artist, and they put it this way, that often we are scared of success, and that is the thing that's what actually holding us back. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I think we are all scared of success, because success means change. It means things are going to change for you, whether you like it or not. Things have to change for you if you become successful. And sometimes you don't want things to change. Sometimes you still want to live where you want to live. Sometimes you still want to have, be with the friends that you want to have. Success can sometimes change what kinds of friends you have, because you will start to want to have more friends who are successful. That is just a thing that happens. You will like just your I think a lot can change once you start to become successful, and that is what's really preventing people from accomplishing stuff or starting stuff, is that they don't want their lives to change, because they're still, because they spend a lot of time loving who they are and loving their life, and you have to say goodbye. You have to say goodbye to yourself. You have to say goodbye to your old self and your old life in many ways. Not in every way, but in many ways. And so I think that is what is holding me back right now, is that I don't want to say goodbye yet. I like who I am. I just have to have faith, and I have to trust that I will also like the person that I will become. I think that sounds right. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, let's just start. Character is a combination of qualities or features that distinguishes one person, group, or another, says my dictionary. And characterization, so now we are outlining the difference between character and characterization. So we are going to write down what this person says. Mr. Gary Provost. Is the combination of qualities. Okay, so we're gonna copy this. And then we're gonna copy this. Hopefully, yes, we can see everything. That's perfect. Okay, so let's look at these two sentences, and let's try to think about what these two sentences are saying. Character is the combination of qualities or features that distinguishes one person, group, or thing from another. Characterization, a description or representation of a person's qualities or peculiarities. Peculiarities. We're doing great, guys. One person in a group or thing from another is a description or representation of a person's qualities or peculiarities. So when we say character, I think let's reword this. Let's reword this to say, so like it is an act of individualizing a person by their unique qualities and sure. So we're sort of like individualizing somebody by turning them to a character. Then characterization is a description or representation of a person's qualities or peculiarities. So I think this book is going to talk, I mean, this whole chapter is going to be about characterization, but I think here, like this sort of like is like an additional abstraction above that is how I interpret this. So this is an abstraction, let me write this down, of a character that what do you say when you something like lines up with, or something is congruent with, or something like falls into with something, like an instruction of a character that let's say that it aligns with archetypes. I don't know if that's right. We're just gonna like have that. This is sort of how I interpret that. Characterization is sort of like maybe one step above that. But we're gonna see what this book has to say. So characterization is a word generally associated with the writing of fiction. And then so I'm gonna associated with fiction. In fiction, you have to characterize. So maybe it's not, maybe it's a process of turning a person into a character. Maybe that's what characterization is. That kind of sounds right, actually. Okay. I need to stop touching my face. I keep doing that, and that's I gotta stop. I gotta stop. So short stories and novels, teleplays, movie scripts all depend heavily on believable, interesting characters. In fiction, you have to characterize. Your story succeeds. The process of turning into a character. Okay, so in a way, characterization is also sort of like turning somebody into something that is more interesting. So your story succeeds only if people in it fascinate, anger, please, tickle, or otherwise affect the reader. So characters also, they also like have a direct impact on the reader. So that's also interesting. So let's sort of write that. Have an impact on the reader's experience. Or maybe have an affect. Characters affect reader by fascinating, anger, pleasing, tickling, etc. Okay. Story about installing CV radios could work perfectly well without any characterization. Okay. People show up in almost anything. You're right. So characterization is an important part of writing nonfiction that works. So here we're saying that we don't need to characterize. So not necessary in nonfiction, but recommended. Sort of like boil it down to that. Characters in your nonfiction fall into two categories. Some characters have to be there because your story is about them, as in interviews with the Nobel Prize winners and profiles of famous jugglers. Other characters, you don't have to be there. You add them to give your character greater dimension and color. For example, you might spend 3 hours with the hypnotist and describe her workday from your article on hypnotism. I did not read that. Let's read that again. Okay, characters in your fiction fall into two categories. Some characters have to be there because okay, so okay, not necessarily nonfiction but recommended. So I'm gonna say in nonfiction, this might work better as a table. So you might just come up with a table for this chapter, but for now, it's write like this. So in nonfiction, characters are, what would we say them? They are? They are either necessary by subject or included for aesthetic. Okay. My slant on a local politician was that he was loved or hated. Few people were neutral about him. One of the paragraphs I used to build this image was, so now we have a paragraph. So this is going to be, I think, fun. We're going to copy this paragraph and then we're going to put this over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually like, I'm going to try to figure out what this paragraph is actually saying. And so this is a slant according to this description. Like, so this is, so here it says My son, the local politician, was that he was loved or hated. Few people were neutral about him. One of the ways I used to build this image was this. So we're gonna try to think about like how this author builds this image. So we're just this is a little analysis time. So sitting on a board where some torture the English language without mercy every Monday night. Dyer speaks clearly, coolly, and as precisely as a professor. I like this. Where some torture the English language without mercy every Monday night. That's cute. That's cute. Okay. We're gonna separate the sentences too. A singer and actor in high school. Dyer polishes off each syllable before he delivers it, and if his rhetoric is often critical, haughty, and downright nasty, it is at least interesting. Things are rarely good or bad when Dyer describes them. Changes made against him have been dilatory, some committee recognitions have been abhorrent, and local merchants have been munificent. Is that a new word? That might be a new word. Munificent in their service to the town. Okay, actually I'm like too stupid to know what this sentence is. I'm like literally too stupid. I actually have no idea what this is saying. So we're gonna figure it out. Okay. Changes made against him have been dilatory. I don't know what dilatory means, so we're gonna look it up. Slow to act. So great word. In fact, I'm going to highlight that. So I can save that on my little Kindle vocabulary builder if I were to ever try to learn what those words mean. And then munificent means characterized by or displaying great generosity. Charges made, oh, this is not changes, charges made against him. So this is him saying that how Dyer describes what other people are doing. Okay. So Dyer, he uses expressive language is like kind of what this is saying, and that he's usually more extreme than just good or bad. It's also kind of like specific in how bad or how good things are too, in a way. Dyer polishes off each syllable before he delivers it. So I'm going to highlight some words I think are interesting. Torture, mercy, coolly, polishes, all right. These are sort of like words that they speak out to me. They feel very intentional, and they really shape how this sentence is written. Or some torture the English language. That's like just I don't know. I'm just right now. I'm just like this. This is just a cool. This is just cool. So here, this is saying that compared to, let me write this down. Compared to say Dyer is good with his words compared to most. Better with his choice of words than most. Is a better speaker than most. It's kind of what that is saying. Maybe like Dyer. The cliche way of writing this, which is what I'm going to write here, Dyer has a way with words. That's like what people often say when they're trying to describe something. And this is the version of that that is more interesting, gives more information, and is just written in a way that delivers more engagement and asks less from the reader. When you say someone has a way with words, you kind of have to really explain what that means, or people have to sort of like imagine that, which is kind of sinful if you are creating something, and you don't have a good justification for that to make the audience work more than they need to. This we're gonna get rid of that. So let's move on. I'm seeing an article about Mr. Dyer. I had to characterize him at least to some extent, but in 1975, when I was assigned to write about small dairy farming, I didn't have to characterize. I didn't have to populate the piece with visible human beings. I could have stuck to the price of milk and feed, state dairy regulations, and the modernization of farm equipment. But I thought a reader who was stretched out on an easy chair in a downtown high rise could relate to dairy farming better and care more about it if I wrote. Okay. So this is what I would call characterization as a tool to evoke empathy that's what I'm gonna write. So you can use characterization dishonestly. Like you can use it to care, to make somebody care about something without telling them to. So that is interesting. Okay, here's do sort of the same thing for this one, and then we're going to move on. Okay, so there's a call Paul is beautiful, but he's a farmer. It's kind of that's kind of like the point of this. When you say somebody is like beautiful, for some reason that's like a easy way to, I find when you describe beauty, I don't know, it does something in the brain. It does something really weird in the brain when you say that a character is beautiful. It's like it almost makes it easier to like someone right off the bat. I think that might also be true if you say somebody's ugly, and it's sort of like a way to like make someone empathize with them or sympathize with them. But with beauty, it's like it really makes you want to be next to this presence. It makes me want to be next to this person. Here, I think we can just sort of reduct this to Sure, let's reduce it to that. I think I'm going to look through this later on. It's kind of how I'll just keep it like that for now. Okay. We'll leave it at that. The thought that I'm having right now is that, like, am I doing enough? I don't think I am. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these two, and then I'm going to move on once I've reduced this top part as well. So like combining those two together to me didn't feel right. So I'm not going to do that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Instead, I'm going to try to treat these two paragraphs separately, and these two sentences separately. So at 27, when the kids he grew up with are making $8 an hour, feelings of, so Paul has kids who are successful. I think it's trying to tell us that these kids are successful. Right? So I think what Paul could be making more. That's kind of what it's trying to say here. I think that this first part is Paul could be making more. He's the one who's sort of choosing not to. That's the information I'm getting from this. And it's expressing this by introducing the kids. It's more than one kid who's had success. No. Oh my God, I'm stupid. It's not Paul's kids. That's not Paul's kids. Is he grew up with kids. Paul's friends. Or Paul, yeah, let's say friends. He grew up with kids. Oh my god. I thought I was saying that he grew up having kids. I'm stupid. This is not okay. This is not okay. I can't believe I just did that. Okay, that's okay. This is not okay. Can't believe this. I can't believe this. All right. Let's move on. No, hopefully, you know, hopefully I will be forgiven. I can be atoned for that sin. Okay. Don't take more than you need. How many chapters do we have left? I wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 chapters left. We got an hour and a half. Can we do this? Do we got this? We're gonna find out. Okay. A lot of writers have a hard time catching on to the idea that writing works. Writing networks is not the creation or real life on paper. Okay. Yeah. Writing networks is not the creation of real life on paper. Yep. That is very true. Like a lot of like, this is something I see a lot in dialogue when people are criticizing dialogue and say they don't talk like real people. And it's just like, you know, dialogue isn't supposed to sound like real people. It's supposed to convince you. It's supposed to sound believable, right? Dialogue is supposed to sound believable, but it's not supposed to sound real. Dialogue that sounds real is stupid. It's bad dialogue. The dialogue is a tool. It's a tool to convey information. So if it sounds real, you're not really doing your job as a writer. What you have to do, your job as a writer is to make it sound believable. And that's totally different. That's really hard. Because then something that sounds believable will be undifferentiable from something that sounds real to the general audience who is not trained. So anyway, yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I agree with this paragraph. It's saying that a lot of people say that you have to, you know, write about real people, which is like it's just not entirely complete advice to say write like real people. You should understand and you should observe and you should study real people 100%. But the final product will not sound like that. It's kind of like in art. Like you should train yourself to be able to capture a scene exactly as it looks. But when you're actually making art, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make a scene that looks believable, that looks realistic, but isn't realistic, isn't real. That's kind of the difference. Find the words that will connect with the content that we designed to create an illusion of real life, right? Art is an illusion. Okay, in fact, I'm gonna write this down because this is something I need to remember sometimes. Art is an illusion. All right. Here's an interesting one. So here he uses a metaphor. I'm gonna quote this. Styles quote. Here we're just gonna say what we're gonna say here. We're gonna say okay. Why did I copy this line? Because I have a personal attachment to it, because I draw a lot. Do I like this metaphor? Yeah. The reader extends the lines. I mean, when you're thinking about it in terms of art, I wouldn't say that. What I would say is like the artist draws the lines and then the reader sees the drawing. It's kind of how I would say it. So in fact, I'm just gonna say it. The writer only draws the lines. The reader the viewer that's not a great. That's That's okay. We're just gonna yeah. All right, we'll leave it up there. But we're gonna that wasn't great. That's not great. Yeah, it's whatever. It's fine. The reader extends the lines. Yeah, sure they do. Okay, this message applies to writing in general, and we'll discuss it in detail in the description that works. For now, it means that you create visible, believable characters, not by telling the reader everything about the character, but by drawing in the part that will make him extend the lines in the direction you intend. Because the reader is doing most of the work of creating a character, you don't have to use many words to characterize minor players in your stories. Here's how, okay, I'm gonna go back to this. Here's what I really have to say about this, is I'm just gonna talk about how I would describe this. So here we're gonna not strike through this. And then I'm gonna turn this black to black. We're not strike through this. Can we turn this back to black? Thank you. Okay. Let's say this. Let's say in art, some shapes are specified. Some are suggested. Let's say defined. Provided by the artist are blueprints. And great. Correct. Construction. The edges. And create an image. Larger. Larger. And canvas. That's how I would describe it. And I think that's how writing works too. Some things are specified, some things are suggested, and the things that are specified are what allow you to fill in the gaps. So that's how I'd write it. Obviously, this uses a lot less words and it sort of gets by the same meaning. It just, does the reader extend the lines? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I don't like metaphors very much. I think metaphors are, you know, I think metaphors suck. I think metaphors suck. I hate metaphors. I hate them. I hate them because they feel dishonest to me. It's like, what do you stop lying to me? Stop lying. Stop telling me that this thing is this thing when it's not. Stop lying. I hate metaphors. Okay. And they make me so angry. So what else are we here to say? Let's have some detailed description that works. For now, it means that you create visible, livable characters, not by telling the reader everything. Okay, yeah. Or to those funny looking guys with glasses thick as Coke bottles who said he managed to make computers simple, and the reader could immediately envision an entire army of computer professionals researching and inventing all over the country, an army composed of every computer type the reader has ever encountered in life and reading. In that article, I wrote on juvenile crime I interviewed by a cop by the name of Norman Dubreuil, which is a small part of the article, so I had no intention of telling the reader how Dubreuil walked or talked, what he had for breakfast. I didn't want to characterize the police in general in regard to my subject, so after I quoted Dubreuil saying, but whether kids go to jail or not is not our decision, we bring them there, so that's what we do, I wrote. Dubreuil's got 23 years in juvenile behind him. He's seen a crushed skull or two, so he's a bit skeptical about the value of any juvenile system that doesn't require jail cells. Okay. Interesting. So I got this part right here. And let's just write some things about this. So first, I like the word crush. I like crushed skull. What does this reveal about Dubreuil? Dubreuil So here's some things that we learned from this sentence. Been working in juvenile for a while. There are juvenile justice systems that don't require Dubreuil is skeptical as he has seen crushed skulls. Any cop who works in juvenile will probably see crushed skulls and then will probably be skeptical. Dubreuil is also many cops. It's kind of the logic. So here what, let me sort of explain what I just did here. The implication here from the sentence is that this is an opinion among many cops that a lot of juvenile justice systems, a lot of juvie jails, I don't know, but they a lot of them don't require jail cells. And I'm trying to say, yeah, okay. So the implication is that a lot of them don't require jail cells, and the implication is that there are a number of cops, some non-zero and non-1 number of cops who are skeptical about that I think that juvenile courts are too lenient. That's the implication from that, even though this sentence is only talking about Dubrul. But you get this implication because it's showing this not as a result of who Dubrul is, but as a result of his occupation. Like, the reason why he's a bit skeptical is because he's seen crushed skulls, which is an inevitability of working in juvenile system for 23 years. Right? He's got 23 years in juvenile. He's seen a crushed skull or two. This is implied to be an inevitability of working in juvie. So if he thinks this way because he's worked in juvie, that means that there are probably other cops who other cops who have also worked in this time frame, which you can kind of assume is probably a given. There probably are other cops who have worked in juvie for a while who may share this opinion. And so this is how this author constructs that intention by just by even though the sentence is only talking about Dubrul. I think that's cool. I think it's a really cool sentence. It accomplishes a lot. Just a lot at once. Man your address, you will cling to that picture until I reveal. Use a tradition to alter your understanding. If I carefully choose the stream overlay is like getting in the way. It's okay. I fairly choose what it is I want to show you about Big Diary. You will extend the lines the way I want you to, and the writing will work. But to make characterization work, you don't need to pile detail upon detail. You need, I can't read that. Oh no. Let's move this. Show border. Let's move this border. Okay. I'll move this border over here. Yeah. Move that over there. That's good. Perfect. So you need to carefully choose some telling characteristics and present them in a lively, interesting manner. So, lesson or tip. Be specific about what you show and show them off well. This is just like art. This is just like art. This is literally just like art. Does nobody else see this? This is literally just like art. And when you're drawing something, you're painting something, be specific about some things, not everything. Just be specific about some things, and in those some things, do it well. All right, capture lighting, capture Fresnel, capture gradients, capture everything that you need to do. Texture, capture those parts well, and everything else will start to fly off. You only need to capture some parts, but those parts, do a good job on those parts. That's what those parts people are gonna see, and that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Everything else will sort of like come through. I think that's cool. I think that's a really cool sort of like, I don't know, lesson, not just about art, but also about game development and about music and about every other art form that exists. Is that as long as you make the specific parts come alive, everything else will come alive. Okay, typecasting. Next chapter. How many chapters do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters. We got about an hour and 10 minutes. Let's do this. We got this. We're gonna try to speed run this. So We got about an hour and 10 minutes. It's about 10 minutes per chapter. So let's do this. Several months now, I have been having an affair with a woman whose husband is a linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. What do you think? You think my wife will know about? You think my wife knows about the affair? You think the woman's husband is a big mean guy who will squash my head like a grape if he finds out? I hope. Oh, you know, big mean. I don't know. Okay. I need to concentrate. There's like the idea of like a big guy, a big mean guy is I like being subjected to that. And that is not the purpose of this passage. So we're gonna continue, and we're not gonna get distracted about big mean guy. It will squash my head like a grape. Please. 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 Do you think this whole thing is conducted in secret while he's off cracking heads with the Los Angeles Rams? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Just gotta breathe. We can get through this. I like guys. I like guys. I don't know what to say. I like big, strong guys a lot. Like a lot. It does something to me. Okay. How would your answers change if I told you I was having an affair with a woman whose husband is a bookkeeper for a small town bank? Or if I told you I was having a friendship with a woman? It's possible that my wife thinks the affair is a great hobby for me. It's possible that my lover's football playing husband is an unjealous sort who thinks I'm great fun to have around. It's possible, but not likely. That's really funny. If you have an affair, is that... Oh wait, let me let's sort of retype this typecasting. If you have an affair, is that like what am I gonna say about it? And if you have an affair but somebody like consents to it, is it called an affair? Do affairs have to be secret, or is that like a open thing? I don't know. I don't look up define affair. Can you have an affair? Okay, it doesn't look like it needs to be secret. Interesting. More likely that when you read the original sentence, you assume the affair was secret, and you assume... Okay, so... Yeah, so affairs are implied to be secret. That's interesting. This feels obvious, but like for some reason for me, it sometimes isn't. So, let's do this. Affairs are implied to be secret. Like I know this, but like this is like good to like, you know, it's good to write down. Just like when you use this word, it is people are going to think that this is secret. Hi, what's up? Hello. Hi, known Dark Senate. I'm curious, do you play D&D? I don't. Well, I did for a bit. You definitely give off the DM vibe. Okay, first of all, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm curious, like, what exactly gives me that vibe? I have played D&D a little bit. I'd had like I think 3 or 4 rounds. I was the DM for that. And I can tell you like what excited me about DMing. I enjoyed I enjoy like having control. I enjoy being sort of an agent of chaos and just letting things sort of like collapse and fall to the ground, and finding cool ways or inventive ways to pick those stuff back up, either metaphorically or literally. You are a writer, which implies crafting stories come naturally to you. Thank you very much. So I'm not actually a writer. I'm a writer in training. I'm studying to be a writer. So you're a mega a little bit. So let me get back on that. So I'm studying to be a writer. So that's like kind of the purpose of this thing. Really, what I would say is I'm an artist first, and then even before that, I would say that I'm probably more like a philosopher who uses art to advance what I'm exploring, which is like how to be more honest, or like what does honesty actually mean. That's kind of like my whole thesis. So then I use art to understand that, and then I'm studying other disciplines to help enforce what it is that I actually like about art, or what it is that, like, what does it really mean to create art in general, not just visual art. We're looking for a main DM who'd also be the main villain. Sorry, I'm reading through this now. I asked because I'm curious, would a Star Wars evil political themed D&D campaign interest you to join? We're looking for a main DM who also be the main villain. I will have to say that the I if we continue this discussion, if you want to if you have a blue sky and you hit me up on blue sky, or just I'm interested in discussing this. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I'm interested in discussing this. We play in Discord. I also have I have a Discord. If you want to add me on Discord, is that my username is Serious Goob, so the same as my Twitch. I don't know if I what I'm trying to say is that I just don't know enough about specific D&D rule sets to I'm not an expert in D&D by any means. I'm happy to sort of try things out. Oh, we don't care. Okay. Well, okay. Hit me up on Discord. I would love to talk about it more, because I am I'm definitely interested in it. I love DMing. I love being a little bit evil. But I just can't. I just don't know for certain, time commitment and all that. That's a little bit of a question mark for me. So if you're good at storytelling, creating chaos scenarios, I might. I think I am. I think I might be. So definitely hit me up on Discord. So that's Sirius Goob, Sirius Goob. Just add me there, and we'll let's keep chatting. Weekends are options. I mean, options are Thursday or Fridays bi-weekly, 1 to 4. That actually kind of works perfect for me. The Thursdays 1 to 4 actually works. That works great. I love improv too. I'm taking a couple improv classes as well. I'm gonna keep the rules are only as important as the DM decides. Yeah, I'll add the FMA, sure. Also for other groups, 4DM who you'd collab with, but your decisions can affect everything and could potentially be fatal. Yeah, that's fine. I love collaborating. I love working with others. Yeah, I can't promise anything right now. Let's keep chatting. And let's just keep talking more about it. But that sounds cool. I would love to contribute to that. That sounds really cool. Thank you. I will once I wrap up the stream, I'll accept your request. So thank you very much. That sounds very exciting. Okay, where were we? So we're talking about affairs. We're talking about affairs because affairs are implied to be secret, eccentric as fuck. That people have told me that. People have told I mean, I enjoy talking. I really enjoy talking and taking up a room and filling a room. So that sounds about right. So what other expectations do we have from this that we get from this chapter? So we know that affairs are implied to be secret. We also know that football players are implied to resort to violence. Big, strong guys. I'm a murder hobo DM style vibes. I think that's a pretty good description of me. So there is a, let me sort of see if I can like map this. So let me please, there we go. Okay. So when we say that football players are implied to resort to violence, what we mean is that size, I don't know why it defaults to bold, size sort of maps to strength, maps to aggression. That's, I think, kind of what we think about. Like, that's sort of the order that the I've been told by many people that I have a particular smile. I have a particular grin. That's like one of my stronger features, and I do think I think that, you know, like the more I sort of like understand exactly what it is that make up, like that's something I'm interested in actually, is I'm interested in what makes a person look like something, like what makes a facial feature look appealing on a specific person. And I'm interested in that because I'm trying to get good at drawing. And that, yeah, so like the what I'm kind of like realizing is that like the more that I understand who it is that I am, and the more that I explore myself, I'm starting to look a little bit more villainous, which I don't mind. I think that's a cool look. I think that you know, gays have been villains for you know, decades. So I was kind of born for the role. I think is kind of, you know, like I would be like I don't know. I do you want to be Aladdin or do you want to be Jafar? You know, like you want to be Jafar, right? Because he's cool. So yeah, okay. So size maps to strength, which gays, you said you're gay. Yeah, I am. I am sometimes too gay to function, but we usually, you know, we make it work. Yeah, I got very distracted earlier in the paragraph because I was just talking about big men, and my brain, you know, starts doing things when I when I think about big men. So I have to be careful about that. Okay. So affairs are implied to be secret. What is that? I kind of got that. It's I enjoy when people call me out, quote unquote, as queer. Like, I think that's fun. I just, you know, like, oh, like what made you talk? Because I don't think it's like immediately obvious, but I think it is like not surprising by any means. It just, you know, you just like, is it fair to assume you're late 20s too? I am 25. So yeah, I guess that is I would say that is late, like mid, that fits in the late 20s half. Definitely an egomaniac. What's okay, I actually don't know what an egomaniac is. I'm gonna look it up right now on stream. A person who's obsessively egotistical or self-centered. He's a raging egomaniac. This is fascinating. I would describe myself Okay, egomaniacs have extreme self-centeredness. I definitely do. Like, I definitely use my I think I'm fun and interesting because I enjoy being around myself a lot. So I think that's like, I believe that is an aspect of being self-centered. Most people are selfish to a degree and they seek first to take care of themselves, but it's a natural way of thinking. Okay, egotists never seek to help anyone regardless of the circumstances. I disagree, but like I can see an argument where, because I love helping people. I love helping people. Most people in their 20s tend to be maniacs and you're usually trolling like dicks. I guess I mean, I have a lot of ambitions. I want to like be I would like to have a, you know, build. This is gonna sound like a villain line. I would like to build an empire. I would like to build an empire of artists who like sort of like have a space to create art and be respected and have like authority as artists and I want to make video games. I want to make, that's really what I'm trying to say, is I want to make video games. I want to make like I want to make dog games. It's something I'm like really interested in, and I want to make like really prolific, but like something in, you know, in line with Sony's games, Sony's first party games. I want that's kind of what I mean. Like I want to build like an empire. I want to like something as big as Disney is what I want to build. And I would describe Disney as its own empire. Something that like is gigantic like Disney, but also has like systems in place to prevent entitification. I don't know exactly how I'm going to accomplish that, but like that is my dream right now, is to sort of like build a really large community of artists sort of working towards this one goal. And that goal being to make games that change how people see dogs. Because I have a lot of really strong opinions about what good dog media should be, and I don't think I've seen a single example of good dog media. I think dog media is like I think it's like the perfect vehicle to understand what like how to become more tolerant of alien species. We got to start thinking about dogs a little bit differently. Well, and I think I don't know. I think the future of the world kind of depends on that, because I think that one day we will be visited by aliens, probably, or like there will be not just aliens, but like, let me also guess you're giving Cali vibes. Sorry, I just started talking. Cali vibes. No, I am not American. Believe it or not, I am from Ecuador, but I am living in Texas right now. But I went to school in Chicago. So I'm from all over South America, so I'm not actually from Cali. But I can see myself giving Cali vibes. Continuing boom let. Okay, so how do I delete you? How do I fuck off? What's this stupid AI comment doing here? Let me just delete you. How do I do that? What? Okay, I gotta figure out how Twitch chat works, because mod view. Okay. Sorry, I'm figuring things out on the spot. How do I delete? Okay. Well, okay, this is going to be a stupid like AI comment there, whatever. Yeah, I would kind of have to be their leader. I kind of would have to be like, yeah. And I'm okay with that. I like leading. I like, you know, I like being a little, just a little bit of a dictator, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. So, all right, let's continue this. Okay, so affairs are implied to be secret. What's happening in the brain when you hear this? So I hear affair. When I hear affair, I think affair. Like why is it secret? It's something about sex, right? So like it's affair maps to sex maps secret. That's kind of like how I see that. If you don't mind, I might ask. Who tends to be super as fuck once you end the stream? There's no way connected for the mic. Oh yeah, I'll just add you now. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not gonna respond in Discord quite yet. I'll just like add you, and then we'll keep in touch after. Okay. So that's my understanding. Affair maps to sex, which maps to secret. But that's kind of, I don't know. Like I feel like, cause like this to be makes more sense. Like, so we have football player maps to size, maps to strength, maps to aggression. But then affair maps to desire, maps to sex, maps to secret. I think that's the connection that the brain makes there. So not because I necessarily believe that would be true in every case, but because you knew those were the prevailing images. Affairs are secret, football players are violent, and you knew that I was trying to tell you something. So your response is based on the attitude of society, which assume you share with me, and you will hold onto them until I start adding facts to tell you this instance is different. Doesn't matter if I think affairs are weird. Okay. Respect the vibes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. I like my vibes too. I think that, you know, I would like to think that I'm pretty, if not interesting, at least I am not the least entertaining thing on the planet. You know, like I have like I'm saying something. I'm feeling silence. So, you know, there's like some merit to my existence. like there's you know, like I'm not at rock bottom. I'm not necessarily at a place where I'm able to like stream in a way that is entertaining for most people. Maybe not yet, but just like the sheer fact that I like to talk. I think just and the way that I approached, like the intensity of, at which I approach certain subjects, and the way that which I'm open about the things that I'm interested in. You know, there's like some stuff pulling there. Plus, I think like the stash, like I don't know. I think there's some cool chemistry happening. You're the nice dictator type until you create chaos, so pretending to have the facade. I think I'd like to be a little bit scary. And I don't mean scary as in like that I'm to be feared, but scary as in like well, maybe feared, but not feared by people who work for me or people who have faith in me. Like I want to cause fear in others because what I do, I succeed in. That's kind of like the vibe I want to give. Is like if I say I'm going to take down, like I'm going to make a film that is more successful than Disney. Like I'm going to overtake Disney as like the animation king. That when people hear that, they think, oh shit, he's going to do this thing, and like he will single-handedly, you know, cause like disrupt the entire industry. Like that is the kind of respect, and not just respect, but just sort of like the power that I want to evoke. Is like I'm not really fooling around until I am fooling around. Like there are many days in which I do things just for its own sake, just for fun. And that's usually my default mode. But when it's time to get serious, then it's like, oh shit, like he's moving, and he has like a plan of action, and he knows what it takes to commit to that. And that's kind of sort of what I mean by like I want to be feared. I just want to be like majorly respected. Soft style. I'll accept it. I'll take what I can get at this point. I'm starting from quite literally like bottom, like rock bottom. Like I don't have many views right now. Like I don't have too much going for me right now, but I sort of have faith that like I will. Like I feel like people will just sort of like latch onto me. I don't know why I feel that way. I think it's because I'm fun. Because I enjoy doing this. Because I enjoy streaming, and I think people like watching people enjoy things. Am I going to win? Like, am I going to have the most views of all time on Twitch? No. But am I going to have people who like me? Well, maybe. I think that'll be fun. A fair maps to this. Okay. I'm getting distracted. Not your fault. Okay, I got 43 minutes. Let's see if I can do this. I have a natural approach of people flocking to you. I kind of do. I kind of have that pattern. I'm trying to use that power wisely. Because that's something that I can just do. Like I can get people to like me and to follow what I have to say like pretty easily. And I want to make sure that I use that power for good. Because I think it's really easy to abuse that, and I have no interest in that. Master manipulator. I think it's more like I know what I want. I really know what I want, and I'm really open about that. And like there's no like I think maybe by being myself, that is sort of like an act of manipulation. Like by being myself and by being who I am, that entices people to want to support me. And I want people to support me. That's the important thing, is I want people to support me because I want to build this empire, and I need support. Like I need people to believe and have faith in me. And the way that I have faith in me is by being honest and by being earnest and by being sincere about not only my inspirations, but by presenting myself in a way that feels earnest and sincere. And so like, am I manipulating people? Yes. But like it's not, it is, I believe a way of manipulation, maybe the only way of manipulation that can be forgiven is not through active manipulation. And maybe that sort of takes away from the word manipulation to begin with, because I'm not trying to manipulate people. I just know that I will. Like by being myself and with sheer earnesty, by like doing that, and by like committing to myself and committing to my own honesty, that influences people. And so like yes, I am like I'm manipulating you. Like I am manipulating you right now, for example. Like now you there's some kind of not relationship, but just like connection, or like something happening here. And that is, I believe, forgiven. Like did I manipulate you into liking me? Maybe. But I manipulated you by not trying to manipulate you. Like the goal is always to get people to like me. The goal is to get people to actually, I wouldn't even say like me, but my goal is to get people to know who I am and see me as like a person and see me as somebody, as like myself with my own values, whatever. Like I would like some people to like me because I need that. I need that support. But I have no intention of just being liked. Like that, like that's not my final goal, is to be liked. My final goal is to shape media. My final goal is to become the next Disney. The final goal is to, you know, is to lead giant projects. That's like my highest. That's like the apex. That's the summit of everything that I'm trying to build. If that wasn't it, I wouldn't have an interest in getting people to follow me or getting people to like me or getting people to stick around. The reason why I want to stick around is because I envision I envision a pretty grand future. Like I have a big future that I want to like work towards, because I really believe that we have to change how we create art, and we have to change how we think about art, because art is in a place that is very vulnerable right now because of all these things like AI and etc. We need new tools and we need new systems to think about art and to think about authenticity in art. And in order to demonstrate that I think I know what I'm talking about, I have to play the game of art, which means I have to make art that succeeds, which means I need support. So I apologize. Art's good. Thank you. I need a Palpatine robe. Oh, yeah, I think a robe could be cool. So it's something to put on. That's actually a really sick idea. Yeah. Sorry. Now you got me talking. So, I made a plan for a trilogy, by the way. What do you mean by that? Like, did you plan like like, are you writing a trilogy, or like a trilogy of books or something? Story outline. Okay, tell me more about that, because that's interesting to me. Okay, you mentioned dogs a lot. What's your preference dog breed? I have 3 corgis myself. So I mentioned dogs a lot for like a variety of reasons. I do have favorite dog breeds, but that's not usually how I think about dogs. Promise not to laugh. I promise I will not laugh. I want to hear about your story, but I might not get to talking about it right away because now my mind is into talking about dogs for a second. So, let me like talk about the dogs thing first, and then if you post your story, I would love to talk about it. So give me a second, because the dog thing is kind of a. Let's just Okay. So I don't see dogs the way I think most people see dogs. I like, my favorite dog breed is probably the Great Dane. That's what I inspire most of my like current design around, the Great Dane. I don't have like I had a dog growing up, but I don't have a dog right now. But I am like intensely interested in dogs because of what they what is the best way to put this? I like dogs because I see them. Like when I look at a dog and I interact with dogs, they make sense to me. They make more sense to me than any human really has. And it's like I get it. I understand what it is like to be a dog. And I have so many thoughts about dogs that are very different, and I argue like just maybe controversial compared to most people, or like you know, thoughts about dogs that I think most people might not want to necessarily hear. Like I think dogs struggle a lot with self-esteem, for example. I think dogs have a really warped perspective of themselves. And I think dogs don't tend to feel really bad about themselves, and I think that's what motivates them to act in the ways that they do. I think that the ways that we breed dogs, the things that we do to make dogs cuter and more loyal, are also things that hijack their self-esteem systems, that make them really critical to self-doubt and fear exile. It's like one of my thoughts that I have. I have like lots. I think a lot about what it must be like to be a dog. And so the reason why I pick a Great Dane as like my favorite breed is because to me they are like the most dog looking dogs. You think of a dog, if you outline the silhouette of a dog, like I love German Shepherds too, but when you look at the silhouette of a German Shepherd is just a German Shepherd is just like it might be easy to mistake them for a wolf when you look at the silhouette of a German Shepherd. Not like necessarily, especially if you like understand the structure of like their hips, for example, like they look non-wolfish in many ways, but their ears are pointy up and their snouts are kind of wolfish. Like if you just take the silhouette of a German Shepherd, looks a little bit like a wolf. But when you look at a dog, of a Great Dane with like their big lips, and you take a silhouette of a Great Dane, they just look like Great Danes. Like they look like dogs. You see a Great Dane silhouette and you just think that's a dog. And so to me, Great Danes represent something more doggy than like German Shepherds do, even though I think I prefer German Shepherds. But I base my main character, who is like myself. Like if you look at this character, like this guy, he's me, but he is essentially he is just like he is a figure chosen to convey dog. More, that is like the most important thing. Is like how do you communicate that this thing is a dog? Give him big lips, and sort of like let the rest take over. But those big lips, I think, are like really important for you to say, okay, that's a dog. That's not just any, like, that is a dog. That is definitely a dog. It's a dog thing. Maybe I can't tell the breed, but I know it's like some kind of dog thing. So that's why I like Great Danes. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry if I like rambled. I'm like really interested in dogs. Hold on, let me make sure that my chat is up to date. Okay. Miss Puffles, if you're still here, feel free to tell me about your story. It's a My Little Pony horror story. I don't think that's cringe at all. I think that's really cool. Like, I think you should. Sorry, I didn't get to this a little bit sooner, but like that's a really cool. That's just cool. I please say more. That is like the best version of art to me, is things that are like a little bit cringe because they are, you know, they make us feel more naked. So like I think that I think like artists should do stuff like that more. How familiar are you with the lore? I'm actually not familiar with the lore at all, so I'm sorry. So I might not really understand like any specifics. I've been wanting to watch Friendship is Magic. I saw like the Jenny Nicholson parodies, but I don't see. I know a couple characters. I know Discord, and I know Mac, is that his name? The Apple? Okay, I'm sorry, I actually don't know. I know Rainbow Dash, of course. The prince, what's his name? There's like there's like a prince who's blue, who has like blue hair, and he's a white fur. And then there's is it Applejack? Is that her name? I'm sorry, I actually don't know. I'm revealing to you how little I know about My Little Pony, but I have seen a couple episodes. Like I like that is a thing that like I that it exists in my brain. But so the 3 parts is going to be called Insomniac Fallen, Insomniac Risen, and Insomniac Betrayal. Is like Insomnia is the name of a character, right? Like is she a villain? I'll look it up. Insomnia. Okay, never mind. I thought Insomnia was the name of a character. That is, I guess, a lie. Okay, so yeah, no, yeah. Insomnia is. I might have seen something like this where it's like a fan character named Insomnia. I might have seen that, but yeah, okay. The 3 parts is gonna be. So who's the Insomniac? Is my question. Luna goes haywire, and if you go into REM sleep, you die, basically. Okay. Okay. Have you heard of there is a you might have there's a Markiplier TV show which you might know about or you might not. There's a Markiplier TV show called Edge of Sleep. That's what it's called. It's on, I think it's on Amazon Prime. But the concept is it is about this like a disease that spreads where if you die or if you sleep, you die. No REM is gonna be bad. So you can sleep for 20 minutes and only get deep sleep and you'll survive. Ooh, yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Have you like been sleep deprived? Probably. Like I'm assuming like it sucks, right? Like it really sucks. Like it really screws over everything. But yeah, there's a TV show by Markiplier and he's like in it. He's like one of the actors. That who just like is in this world where like if you fall asleep you die and then they have to like try to stay awake for like several days. What's funny is that Discord is usually ignored in fanfics because he's OP, but in this one he's powerless. So tell me, so why is Discord powerless here? I actually don't know much about Discord's lore, like if he has something like related to sleep in like his powers or something. The average is 5 hours, so that's about what I used to get in like college and in high school. 5 hours is like, I'm like surprised I lived that long for like for only 5 hours a night. But like it's you know, it's better than nothing for sure. Discord has chaos magic, sure, but he affects physical world. I actually don't know. So I actually don't. Let me look up Discord. What are his powers? Like way more OP. Oh, okay. So I'm understanding. So there's a difference between the physical world and the dream world. And Dream Monster is like way more OP. So Discord doesn't have any powers in the dream world. I see. Is that am I understanding correctly? Look at this cutie. Look at this cutie. Look at him. How did this go transition from enemy to an ally? I should probably watch some Friendship is Magic. Because it's like, I mean, just like really common in like media, like in pop culture. That's just like something that I should like be more aware about. But yeah, that like, do you have you written before? Have you like non-Twitch TO? I don't know what Twitch's terms of service details are. I imagine I'm gonna get in trouble because like I love talking about dark stuff. I love talking about sex. I love talking about drugs. I love talking about like just generally, you know, like pretty like grotesque things that like aren't. I don't know what Discord's Twitch's terms of service stuff is. Like I might get like banned at one point just because I don't know. Like, am I okay to like show off? I don't know, like to talk about sex. Is that like okay to do on Discord? I don't know, or on Twitch. Sorry, like I don't know anything about like how Twitch works. So like I'm, you know, hopefully I'll be okay. You've never written anything dark. I supposed to do cute and wholesome stuff. So is this like your first time writing something dark, or is this just like or are you just coming up with details, but you're not writing something dark? Like, are you like exploring darkness with this? Because I think you should. I think that'll be fun. Or, you know, like obviously if that interests you, but like if that, I think everybody should explore dark themes at some point, because I think you come up with some really interesting things. Yeah. Well, good luck. Do you know how long it's gonna be? Like how many like words, how many chapters? Yeah, sort of like any idea for that? Yeah. Insomnia. I love the topic of insomnia as like a storytelling theme, especially if you really try to stay awake for a really long time. Like the things that you need to do in order to stay awake. Like I've been awake for like the longest I've been awake, I think, has been like 50 hours. And like, oh my God, that it was like brutal. It was torture. And like the things that I did to stay awake, like the amount of coffee that I would drink, or like I have ADHD medication I think I took 2 instead of my normal, just to like stay awake. And I was staying awake because I was trying to finish assignments, and I had no good reason to stay awake, but I just wanted to, you know, I didn't know how else to finish my assignments. It was like, yeah, that's something that compels me. I know I went 3 stories. I feel like the pricing betrayal is a really funny punchline. Yeah, I'm figuring out how to put structure to stuff like myself, like how to know how long something should be. Like I'm figuring that out all the time. Kind of invited the monster everywhere and let it run loose. Okay, so you know, you have some like, I mean, you have like, you know, you have like some plot going on. So like I think that's cool. So hype. Betrayal is usually hype. Betrayal is usually like, it is, I don't know, my favorite favorite scenes are when like characters betray, but they like betray in ways that like make sense and are justified, right? And they feel justified, but it's still like a surprise. But just like, oh, those are my favorite kinds of scenes. A, spoilers, and B, too graphic to detail here. I get it. But like, yeah, I think that's cool. I hope you work on that. What's a good length for a story? So that's a great question. I think that a good length for a story, first of all, is any length is a good length. Like just having it done and be complete makes it a good length. So it's like that's like number one rule. It's like if it is complete, it is a good length. Number two, okay, once it is complete, then you have to ask yourself like how much more time do you want to invest in this thing, and will investing more time in that thing make it better? Like do you have motivation to finish that thing? If you do, or sorry, not finish it, it's already finished, but it's like, do you have motivation to lengthen it? If you have motivation to lengthen it, then lengthen it. But you should lengthen things later. Like have it be as complete as possible and as small as possible, start to finish. And then once you know what the whole thing looks like, then you can decide if you want to lengthen things and how much you want to lengthen them. But other than that, like a short or semi-short, especially since it's a trilogy. Yeah, like you release all three at the same time or one by one. That is entirely up to you. But I think you will be more motivated by focusing on. So okay, actually, this is actually a more interesting question than you might realize, because there are two things that might happen if you release it one by one. If you release it one by one, you might get feedback. You might get views, or like not views, but like comments. You might get things that might motivate you sooner. So like if you release it, the first part, and then you share it with people, and then people talk about it and they tell you about things about it, that might motivate you to then continue to doing the second and third. It also might demotivate you. It might demotivate you because if you get comments that are critical, which will probably happen because this happens no matter what. If you get comments that are critical, then that might make you feel bad about yourself, which might then motivate you from finishing the second or third one. So what do you do? Right? Like do you release it all three, or do it one by one? And the answer is just, which one what are you like ready for? Like are you ready to receive the critique or that feedback that are you like okay with that? And if you are okay with that, then release it one by one, because that will get you the motivation that you need to continue. But if you're not okay with that, if you're really scared about feedback, then I think you should do it one by one anyway. And you should do it one by one anyway, because you also like the goal of the assignment should change. The goal of the assignment should stop being to finish it, and the goal of the assignment should be to get to feel better about receiving feedback. Like feedback is like a thing that is always motivating, or it has the power to motivate, but it also has the power to demotivate. And it like, I think the smartest thing is to like cultivate a good relationship with feedback. Like create something, release it, and then when people critique it, to experience that positively, because it is not an indictment on you as a writer. It is just a thing. It's just, you know, it is part of the process. Like this is just a thing that people who support you and are excited for you and want you to succeed, they are showing you how to do that. So hopefully that helps. I think you should do it one by one. And I think Risen have an really awkward structure because it's the same story, but Discord is less panic, which ripples down the road. But the first third is identical to Fallen. Oh, this is about the different parts. Okay. That's interesting. So like it's the same exact first third, but just like different, perspectives. I would say don't. There's no reason to copy paste the first third of the story. What, like if it's literally the same, like identical. If it's like literally identical, then just like skip it. Like just summarize all of it in like a couple sentences so that there's an introduction in the second story. But if it's like an alternate, if you're doing like the thing where it's like some things are different, you should start in the moment where the thing that changes. So what if Discord does something different after the first third? Then just continue on from the moment he started doing something different. Don't copy paste it, because that'll cheapen your work. That'll make it feel that'll make the rest feel less powerful. Even if the story becomes shorter because of it, that's okay. What you can do is, you could also take that second story and then actually put it at the end of the first story. Like turn the first story, instead of having it be 3 stories, instead of a trilogy, a duology, but like that's like if you're concerned about length, that's like something you could do. So following the full story and reason is recapped and the change. Yes. And keep the recap, keep it short. If you want to extend it, another thing you could also do, because it's Risen is through Discord's perspective. So like include it from Discord's perspective, maybe like before Fallen. Like have Risen be like if Fallen starts in the month of, let's say the month of September, then like Risen could start in the month of August or July, like something like way before, or even like a couple years before, as like for us to like introduce ourselves to being in Discord's perspective, and then you cut it to when Discord makes the different choice. But yeah, definitely don't just like copy paste. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry. I was calling my mom. Sorry. I don't know. I like ish the copy paste. I think why, but I agree with you. It's a bad decision. So, I don't get why it feels appealing. I mean, it makes sense, and like it. There are a number of other things that do something similar. Like, you know, there's famous media that like does literal copy paste, like Nier Automata, or that's actually the only one I think I can think of right now. But like that is a thing that exists. Or like, I guess Detroit Become Human is another one, where they just like copy paste parts. But the difference is that those are all part of the same thing. And when you're reading something, you can skip. And so if you're reading something and you skip something, then you like it's hard to know what's important and what's not important, and we want everything to be important. And if it's like a strict copy paste, the mind will just skip it. So another thing you can do is you can make that first third like totally different. Like not totally different, but like it's like the perspective change makes it different. Like you really focus on the differences of his perspective. Like you can tell the same story, but you can just make that perspective different. And then you say here, I can right skip to page X if you've read Fallen. That's actually not a bad idea. I actually think that idea makes sense. Alternatively, you can split Risen and Fallen into 3. You can have like Risen / Fallen part 1, which is like Risen and Fallen, and then you can have part 2 and then part 3, and then part 2 is the first version and part 3 is the second version. That way it's like you sort of instead of it being 2 different things, it's actually 3 different things. So you actually have a quadrilogy. You actually have 4 parts. But you can make it like a little bit interactive in that way, where it's like you read this first part and then it's like, okay, now read this if you want this part, and then read this one if you want this other part. And I don't even know if that works considering the story. Yeah. Yeah, no, like these are all like all of these ideas are going to be like, I think, a little bit weird or different. And it's just kind of like what feels true to you is the choice that you go with. If you like the idea of like right skip to page X, and if you like the idea of copy pasting it, and if you actually do like it, then do it, right? Even if you know it's wrong, even if it's like, yeah, I know I'm not supposed to do it this way, but just acknowledging that and acknowledging that like you want to do this thing anyway, I think you can do that. There's nothing stopping you. Like even if it's not correct, kind of who cares? Like it is art at the end of the day, and art, there aren't any hard rules in it. So like if you do like the concept of just like copy and pasting it, if for some reason that kind of speaks to you and you can't really explain why, just like go with it. See what happens. Yeah, exactly. If your signature is doing bad stuff on purpose, then do it. Then like, in fact, you know, find even more ways to make it like bad, or more ways to make it weird. I don't know, just like driving for a victor in MS Paint. Yeah. So if that's like already your vibe, then if that speaks to you, if that like gives you power, then do it. Like I would be excited for that. If somebody said, yeah, I know this is like not great, but like I'm doing it this way intentionally because I like it this way. Or in this UI design. UI is actually interesting because once you get into UI, then you're asking like favors from the audience, and that can be trickier because it's not just like a profile picture is a passive thing. Like a profile picture, it doesn't really matter what your profile picture is, but if you're doing UI design, then that's a conversation with the audience. That's like, you know, you are asking something from the audience, and so then that's like that's just like that's a trickier space to navigate, because it's no longer just like about you. Now it's like about it's about your audience as well. And if you don't respect your audience, then that can lead to some like consequences. Hi, Rich. Hi. How are you? How are you doing? Hello. Welcome to the show. You just joined right at the end of the show, which makes me sad because I missed you. I'm wondering how you were doing. No, are you, is that, no, don't say goodbye. Hello, sorry, one of my like good friends, just like dropped in the chat and I wanted to like say hi for a second. Do you mean to say my audience don't like a black mix of white and black and neon blue design? I'm saying that like a UI is something that the audience interacts with. And so, if you are doing that, there is like an extra element of like, you have to recognize that. Like, imagine if you spoke to somebody, like you have a friendship, like let's say you show up to somebody's place and you do something like kind of like cursed, for example. Like you go to your friend's place and then you, let's say like you what's like a curse thing you can do? What's a curse thing you could do? I'm thinking about some like pretty crazy things. So let me see if I can come up with something that's like more Twitch friendly. If you let's say your breath smells bad. Let's say that. Let's call that a curse thing. Like your breath smells bad. Okay? And it smells bad because you ate some raw rodents. Use a dog clicker at your friend you met 5 times. Okay. How long have you been playing writing reading? Okay, I think this person, I don't know if that person is real. Cursed, use a dog clicker at your friend you met 5 times. Yeah, okay, yeah. Use a dog clicker or like do something like you know, kind of like that. If you do something cursed with sorry, Chivi. I just, how long I've been playing writing reading is, I'm a real person. He is a bot. Okay. There's something happening. I'm sorry I called you a fake person. I believe you now. It's just that I'm not playing writing reading. That is not a game. If you want to see my work, like, can I have your Discord? Okay, you actually, okay. I'm getting vibes from that. I'm gonna go back to talking to Miss Puffles for a second. Yeah, if you use a dog clicker on somebody, and if you're friends with that person, it's cool, right? Like it might be like kind of strange, but it is like cool. It is like a you know, you're friends, you're joking around, you're just sort of like having fun. You're just like with you are, you know, fooling around. You're being evil, you're being cursed. It's okay. But if you did that in front of like a homeless person, or if you did that in front of like an elder, someone you don't really know, maybe like a teacher, or maybe like your grandma, maybe like, you know, if you did that with some random people, you would be called out. Like, you know, people wouldn't really appreciate that if you just like use a dog clicker. Oh, my timer expired. So yeah, a total stranger. Like if you use a dot click on a total stranger, like there are consequences to that. Like it can be okay, but also you might get beat up. You might get punched. So in that sense, having UI that is bad is kind of the same thing, where you don't have like a formal relationship with this person, but you're subjecting this person to this experience, and this experience that is uncomfortable. And so is that okay? Right? Is that something you want to do? And if it is, then go for it. But you have to understand that like this, you are no longer just doing something just for a haha funny, but you're also inviting people to it. And you're also showing, like, you're making people go through this thing. And then you have to start considering, like, what is important to you? Is it important to you to just do things that are cursed just because they're cursed, or do you also want to give people a good time? And sometimes those two things are in tension. Sometimes those two things are conflict with each other. And so then you can start to explore, like, what is it that you really want to say and you really want to do? So, so hopefully Miss Puffles, hopefully that, like, what I just said there, hopefully that makes some kind of sense. So, okay, let me read this. I can show you my recent client chats. You can believe me. I understand your idea. It's cool. Can you drop this on Discord? Because I will remember it. Search on Jag 3 Park. I approve. Ask him, if he been have to this proof? Okay, I think I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm unfortunately, I'm sorry, Chibi. I'm not interested in graphic designer services because I am my own graphic designer. I do it to spread freedom, I guess, if it makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like you're already kind of starting that path of understanding that, right? Like you understand what it is that you want to do, which is like you want to like support others in expressing themselves, and also you want to express yourself and try to use social. Yeah, so you're already like thinking about this. So, yeah, like this is art biz. This is what making art is about. It's all about this. It's like understanding that you have, there is some responsibility to your audience, and then knowing exactly how to push that responsibility and when to like when is it good for you to take away from your audience's comfort, and when is it a good thing, like knowing how to navigate that space is, I feel like something that I will spend the rest of my life learning. That's why I use Horrendous UI, because it's my arena. Yeah, no, that sounds cool. That sounds super cool. Like I'm glad that you've discovered that this is like something that you like doing. So anyway, my stream is, I guess, over now, which is crazy. I do have to end it. If you don't like the UI on my page, you can just click off. Yeah, there's also that too. Like, and especially because UI, and like, at the end of the day, a web page is just something that like is pretty non-consequential. Like, it's easy to click off a web page, so that you can use that to your advantage. But you're sending me requests now. I can show you these client chats and examples. Chibi, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in your services. That being said, okay, I'm gonna have to log off now. This is like the first time I've had like a real interaction with people on Twitch, so that's like been kind of crazy. So I want to thank you, Miss Puffles, for I want to thank you for engaging here. So that was really cool. I also want to like thank anybody else who joined in. and began engaging. Like this was very meaningful to me, and I really appreciate it. But I do have to go. But I am planning on streaming more often. I want to have like a consistent streaming schedule. I'm hoping to do it at least 3 times a week. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna say bye now. Thank you guys for showing up and coming. I'm sorry this is like, I'm doing this a little bit awkwardly because I've not really practiced my goodbyes. If you limit if you limit based on your preferences and the outcome is only cookie, butter, sterile UI, then that's the real crime. Yeah, that's true. No, that's very true. That's another crime too, is to like not play, not experiment. That's another crime. All right. Bye.